The air on the toxic moon was thick with acid fog. Even the machines complained, their warning lights blinking red as they crawled across the barren surface. Tom Walker wiped the sweat from his face inside his helmet. He was tired. This was his 5th day on the Corellan moon, helping to build an Earth relief base for trade ships. No one came here unless they had to. That's when he saw her. At first, Tom thought it was a shadow in the mist. Then the shadow moved slowly, weakly, until it collapsed face first on the black sand. "Movement at Sector 7, Tom said into his comms. It looks like someone out there." "It's impossible," came the reply. "Surface is lethal without protective suits." But Tom was already running. His boots crunched over the sharp rocks. The figure was small and curled up tight, like a wounded animal. As Tom got closer, his stomach clenched. It was a Corellan girl. Her skin shimmered faintly like liquid silver. Long tendrils of pale hair stuck to her face, and her breathing was shallow. Tom scanned her vitals. They were dropping fast. Her organs were shutting down. "She's not going to make it," Tom whispered. "I need a med team here now," Negative said his commander. "Corellans have strict laws about outsiders treating their people. We can't interfere." "She's dying!" Tom yelled. Static crackled in his ear. Then silence. Tom cursed. He looked down at the girl. Her chest barely moved. Her lips trembled as she spoke a single word in her alien tongue. ... Her voice was so soft he almost missed it. He didn't hesitate. He opened his medical pack and pulled out a vial of nanomedicine. It was top-tier human tech tiny machines that healed from the inside. It's designed for humans only. But she needed a miracle. "Please don't let this kill you," Tom muttered. He injected the vial into her neck. For a moment, nothing happened. Then her back arched violently. Her eyes flew open, glowing faintly blue. A scream tore from her throat, not of pain, but of something deeper. The sound sent chills through Tom's body. Her skin rippled. Strange patterns moved under the surface, like something was rewriting her. Tom stepped back, heart pounding. "What did I just do?" he whispered. Suspense builds back at the base. Alarms went off. The Corellan High Command detected something on their scanners. A strange energy signature coming from the relief zone. "They used human medicine on her," Corellan officer said, his voice full of disgust. "Idiots. Now she's contaminated. Quarantine." The area ordered the High Chancellor. "If the human tech changes her, the consequences will be catastrophic." The first change hours later, the girl lay still in the med bay. Her body had stabilized. The human nanotech worked, but in a way no one expected. When she woke, her movements were calm. Almost too calm. She turned her head slowly, staring at Tom with those glowing blue eyes. "You saved me," she said in broken English. Her voice was soft but carried an edge that sent a shiver through Tom. "What's your name?" Madame asked. "Sarai," she whispered. Tom smiled. "You're safe now." But deep down, he wasn't sure if that was true. Sarai touched her own chest, feeling the steady thrum of her heart. For a moment she looked relieved, then she frowned. Her fingers curled tight. "Something feels wrong," she whispered. Like I'm not me anymore." End of Part 1. Cliffhanger. Back on her homeworld. The Corellan Chancellor stared at the data feed. "Human nanotechnology has merged with her biology," scientists explained nervously. "We're detecting gene rewriting, spreading at an alarming rate." The Chancellor's face darkened. "She is no longer one of us," he said coldly. "Send a fleet, destroy her if you must. Earth cannot be allowed to spread their contamination." As the ships prepared for launch, Sarai's eyes glowed brighter. She didn't know it yet, but her entire species was about to fear her. The medbay lights flickered softly as Sarai sat on the edge of the bed. Her fingers traced the metal frame, but the sensation felt strange, too sharp, too detailed. Tom watched her from across the room. She seemed calm, but her glowing blue eyes told a different story. "Are you sure you're okay?" he asked. Gently, Sarai blinked, her pupils narrowing slightly like a predator's. "I don't know," she whispered. "Everything feels different. The air smells too strong. The lights are too bright. And my body Doesn't feel like mine anymore. Tom pulled a chair closer. The nanomedicine wasn't designed for your biology. Maybe your body is still adjusting. Sarai looked up at him suddenly. Her gaze made him shiver. Tom, she said, her voice shaking. Why does your scent make my heart race? Tom froze. My scent? He asked cautiously. Sarai nodded, her hands gripping the edge of the bed tightly. When you came close, it felt like I needed something from you, something I can't explain. The first sign of change as the hours passed, Sarai's strength grew rapidly. Her skin became smoother, her wounds healed completely. Her voice sounded clearer with every word. But something else was happening too. She couldn't stop staring at Tom. The warmth of his presence felt addictive. Her body ached when he stepped away. I need air, Sarai said suddenly, standing. Wait, Tom said, reaching for her arm. Your people might still be looking for you. It's not safe outside. Sarai turned to him slowly. Her hand brushed his, and in that instant, a shock ran through both of them like electricity. Tom gasped. What was that? Sarai's eyes widened. She pulled back, her chest heaving. I don't know, she whispered. But I can feel your heartbeat, even from here. The Corellan fleet arrives high above the toxic moon, a Corellan warship entered orbit. Sharp black hole bristled with weapons. On the bridge, Commander Vera stared at a glowing screen. Sarai's life signs pulsed in red. She's still alive, Vera said coldly, but the readings are unstable. Human medicine is mutating her DNA. The science officer looked uneasy. What if she spreads it? Then we burn the whole planet, Vera said without hesitation. She's no longer Corellan. She's a threat. Back on the base, Sarai paced the room, her movements quick and restless. Her breathing grew shallow. Tom called in Dr. Harper. The chief medical officer. Her vitals are spiking, Harper said. Scanning Sarai. The nanomedicine is rewriting her on a cellular level. But it's not just healing, it's enhancing. Sarai grabbed Harper's wrist suddenly. Something is wrong with me, she said, her voice low and trembling. I can hear your pulse. I can smell your fear. Harper tried to pull free. But Sarai's grip was like iron. Sarai let go, Tom said, stepping closer. When Sarai turned to him, her eyes flared bright blue. Stay back. She cried, You're sent. It's driving me crazy. Tom froze. Sarai, you're safe here, he said softly. She shook her head violently. No, I'm hungry. The hunger awakened suddenly. Sarai doubled over, clutching her stomach. Her body trembled as if fighting an invisible battle. Images flashed in her mind, Tom's face, his hands, the warmth of his blood. She let out a guttural sound, part growl, part scream. Get away from me, she shouted before anyone could react. Sarai leaped back, smashing into the wall. The impact didn't hurt her, barely left a mark on her skin. Tom and Harper stared in shock. Tom whispered, What's happening to her? Harper's face was pale. She's changing. The fleet locks on above the planet. Commander Vera received a report. Commander, the human medics are harboring her. Should we engage? Eyes narrowed. Yes. Lock weapons. Prepare to eliminate the base. Understood. The ship's cannons began to glow. Tom ran to the comms panel. This is Earth Relief Base. A Corellan warship is locking onto us. We have civilians down here. Do not fire. Static answered him. Sarai's breathing slowed, her glowing eyes fixed on Tom as she spoke. Tom. If they attack, I can stop them. Tom turned to her, shocked. What? Do you mean Sarai raised her hand? Small arcs of blue energy danced across her fingers. They made me something new, she whispered, and now my people will fear me. High above, the warship's cannons powered up. The Corellan warship floated above the toxic moon like a silent predator. Its black hull gleamed under the dim light of a distant sun inside. Commander Vera stared at the glowing red symbol on her screen, Sarai's life signal. She's still alive, Vera muttered, but not for long. Her second-in-command shifted uneasily. Commander, We've received word from High Command. They're calling her a Class 7 biohazard. They've authorized sterilization of the entire human base. Vera's sharp eyes narrowed. Sterilization? That means yes, her officer said grimly. Kill everyone to stop the spread. Back on the base, Dom slammed his fist against the comms panel. This is Earth Relief Base. Corellan. Warship, do you copy? We are a neutral medical team. You're about to fire on civilians. Static, then. A cold voice crackled through the speaker. This is Commander Vera of the Kierlan Fleet. You are harboring a contaminated subject. Surrender her immediately, or we will erase your outpost. Tom looked at Sarai. She stood perfectly. Still in the med bay, her glowing blue eyes locked on the ceiling, as if she could feel the warship above. They're coming for me, Sarai whispered. Yes, Tom said, his voice tight. But we're not handing you over. You should, Sarai said softly. They're right to fear me. Tom frowned. What do you mean? Sarai raised her hand. Tiny sparks of blue light danced across her fingers. I'm changing, Tom. The human medicine didn't just heal me. It rewrote me. I can feel machines now. I can hear their engines in orbit. Tom's stomach twisted. You're saying you can sense the warship? Sarai nodded. Double quotes. And if they attack? I can fight back. The attack begins high. Above, Vera gave the order. All batteries, lock on target. Prepare to fire. The warship's massive cannons turned toward the human base. Energy began to build, glowing bright red. Fire. The first blast shot down like a spear of molten light. It struck the edge of the base, sending dirt and metal flying. Tom and Sarai ducked as alarms blared. They're firing on us. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da shouted. Dr. Harper, we have to evacuate. Tom looked at Sarai, his heart racing. Can you stop them? Sarai's glowing eyes met his. I can try. Sarai's power awakens. Sarai stepped outside the base. The toxic air swirled around her, but she didn't flinch. Above, warship's cannons glowed again, ready to fire. She closed her eyes and stretched out her hands. Listen to me, she whispered, not to Tom, but to the machines in orbit. Inside the warship, systems flickered. Consoles went dark. Alarms rang out as the crew scrambled. Commander, our targeting systems are down. Reboot them, Vera barked. Sarai's voice echoed softly in the void. Stop. The warship shuddered. Engines powered down. Lights dimmed. The Corellan panic on the bridge. Panic spread. Commander, she's interfering with our systems. She's not just contaminated, she's linked to us somehow. Vera clenched her fists. She's becoming a hybrid, she growled. A fusion of human technology and Corellan biology. She's too dangerous to live. The truth revealed back at the base. Dr. Harper scanned Sarai's vitals. His hands shook as the results appeared. The nanomedicine didn't just heal you, Harper said. It integrated with your DNA and created a new gene, one that can interact with machines and energy. Sarai looked at him, her expression unreadable. So I'm not fully Kierlan anymore, she whispered. No, Harper said. You're something else. Tom stepped closer. You saved us, he said softly. But your people won't see it that way. They won't stop until I'm dead, Sarai said bitterly. The fleet calls reinforcements high above. Commander Vera sent a message to her superiors. High Command. This is Vera. The subject has demonstrated machine interference capabilities. Request permission to deploy a full fleet and sterilize the entire moon. The reply was cold and immediate. Permission granted. Wipe out all traces of contamination? Tom stared at the sky as more Kierlan ships appeared in orbit. They're sending reinforcements, he said grimly. Sarai clenched her fists. Blue light flared from her palms. Then we fight, she said, her voice steady. Tom looked at her, torn between fear and awe. You're not the same girl I saved, he whispered. Sarai turned to him, her glowing eyes sharp. No, she said. I'm something far worse. The sky turned red as the second Kierlan fleet arrived. 12 warships hovered over the moon, their engines humming with deadly power. From below, They looked like angry stars. Their weapons glowed hot, ready to turn the human base into ash dot inside. The base, Tom, Dr. Harper, and Sarai watched the sky in silence. "They sent the fleet," Harper said, voice shaking. "They're going to erase everything." Sarai stood calmly, her glowing eyes fixed on the ceiling. The flickering lights above her danced with strange patterns, responding to her presence. She didn't speak right away. Then she said, "Let them try." Hook. The mutation spread seer, walked into the main chamber. As she passed the control panel, the system flickered and suddenly powered up without anyone touching it. Tom's eyes widened. "Sarai, did you just turn that on?" She didn't answer. Her fingers brushed a display screen. Symbols appeared. Codes. Machine language. She read it like it was her own. "What is happening to you?" Tom whispered. "Doctor." Harper stepped forward, holding a data tablet. He was pale. "The gene." He said slowly, "It's rewriting everything inside her. And now it's spreading." Tom blinked. "Spreading to who?" Harper looked at him nervously. "To you. And to me. Anyone who's touched her blood, breathed near her, or made contact. Infected, distinct." Tom's face went cold. "I'm infected." "Not infected," Sarai said. "Changed. A gene that breaks barriers." Harper explained it with shaking hands. The gene created by the nanomedicine was something Earth had never seen. It didn't care about species. It broke rules. It adapted to Kirlian cells, human cells, and even electronic systems. "It's rewriting our biology," Harper said. "Not to kill us, to merge us." Tom leaned against the wall. "You're saying we're becoming like her?" Harper nodded. "We're becoming something new." Kirlian's Take Action Commander Vera stared at her fleet from the warships. "Bridge. Our scans show the mutation is spreading among the humans," a science officer said. "We must act now." Vera didn't hesitate. "Prepare the kinetic rods. Full strike." "Commander," the officer protested. "If she adapts again, she won't survive this," Vera snapped. The Kirlian fleet shifted position. One warship aimed a massive spear-like weapon toward the planet's surface. A kinetic rod, pure metal, dropped at hypersonic speed. No explosion, just impact, enough to level the entire base. "Target locked," the gunner said. "Fire," Vera ordered. The impact high above, the rod detached. It cut through the sky like a silver lightning bolt. On the ground, sirens screamed. Tom grabbed Sarai's hand. "They're dropping a kinetic rod." Sarai didn't run. Instead, she closed her eyes and stepped forward. "No more running," she said. "No more fear." She raised her hands. Blue light exploded from her body, shot into the sky like a beacon. The rod was seconds from impact when it stopped frozen in midair. Tom's jaw dropped. She stopped it. The metal rod twisted slowly in the air. Then it shattered into dust. Sarai opened her eyes. Her skin pulsed with energy. New abilities, new threat, DR. Harper scanned her again. "She's not just changing biology anymore," he whispered. "She's affecting gravity, magnetism, energy fields. She's connected to the planet." Tom looked at her like he was seeing her for the first time. "She's turning into something we don't understand." "Oh," Sarai corrected him. "I'm becoming something your people never imagined." The hybrid network begins later. That night, Tom noticed something strange with the computers. Screens turned on when he walked by. Lights followed his movement. He ran tests on his own blood. The gene was working inside him too. Soon small things started to change. He felt faster, sharper, stronger. Other medics began reporting the same. Better vision, faster healing. Sarai had started something. It was spreading like wildfire. The Kirlian Warning A message. Arrived from the Kirlian flagship. To all human command, you have allowed a galactic biothreat to grow. Cease all contact with subject Sarai. Failure to comply will result. IN, interplanetary war. Tom stared at the message. Then at Sarai. "What are we supposed to do now?" he asked. Sarai turned to him. "We fight for the future." As the Kirlian fleet prepared for another strike. but deep under the surface of the moon, something began to awaken. Sarai stood still, her eyes glowing bright. She wasn't afraid. She could hear machines in orbit. She could hear power grids on distant ships. And now she could control them. "Let them come," she whispered. "I'm ready." The sky above the moon burned red. The Kyrellan fleet filled the heavens, their warships forming a massive blockade. Energy cannons hummed like angry beasts preparing to strike. Inside the Earth's relief base, alarms blared as medics and engineers scrambled to prepare defenses. But deep down, everyone knew they stood no chance against the enemy. In the command room, Tom slammed his fist on the console. "They're going to wipe us out," he said through gritted teeth. "We need reinforcements." "We need no," Sarai interrupted softly. She stood in the center of the room, her glowing blue eyes calm. Energy flowed gently around her hands, making the air shimmer. "They won't listen to talk or pleas for peace. They only understand strength." Hook the ultimatum. A sudden transmission cut through the noise. The holographic image of Commander Vera appeared above the console. "Attention, Earth Outpost," she said coldly. "You are harboring a contaminated subject. This is your final warning." Tom stepped forward. "We are a neutral medical team. Firing on us is a war crime." Vera's sharp eyes focused on Sarai. "That thing standing behind you is not one of us anymore. It is a hybrid abomination, half Kyrellan, half human. If you refuse to surrender her, we will destroy everything and everyone on that moon." Tilted her head slightly. Her voice was calm, but there was steel in it. "You fear me," she said. "You should," Vera replied without hesitation. "You're a danger to every living species." The transmission ended, preparing for Wardy. Harper looked pale as he stared at his scanner. "They're right about one thing," he said softly. "Your gene is spreading faster than we thought. It's not just us anymore. Plants are growing faster in the soil you touched. Machines seem to work smoother around you. The base systems are evolving." Sarai nodded. "The gene doesn't know borders, doesn't care about Kyrellan or human. It adapts, improves, and connects." "Sounds like a virus," one medic muttered nervously. "No," Sarai corrected. "It's not a virus. It's a network. Can feel every life form on this moon. And now I can feel the Kyrellan fleet above us." Kyrellan ships advance on the bridge of the flagship. Vera gave the order. "Move the fleet into position. Charge main cannons. Prepare to sterilize." The base, her officers hesitated. "Commander, what if she resists again? The last time she disrupted our targeting systems." Vera's eyes burned with fury. "Then we fire everything we have. No hesitation. Burn that moon to dust if we must." Sarai's choice back in the base. Sarai stood outside the airlock, staring at the sky. The toxic wind whipped her hair around her face, but she didn't flinch. Tom rushed after her. "Sarai, what are you doing? They'll kill you the moment you step out there." "They can try," she said quietly. Her glowing eyes softened as she looked at him. "You saved me, Tom, and now I can save you." Tom grabbed her arm. Double quotes. "No, you're not alone in this. Whatever happens, we'll face it together." For a brief moment, Sarai smiled. But then she pulled away gently. "I'm not sure I'm even me anymore," she whispered. "The gene is changing everything. My thoughts, my body, even my emotions feel different." The first strike, the Kyrellan fleet opened fire. Blue. Energy beams lanced down from orbit, smashing into the ground near the base. Explosions shook the earth as dust and debris rained from the sky. Sarai raised her hands. Blue energy flared around her like a shield. The next beam struck, then stopped in midair, caught in her shimmering barrier. On the Kyrellan flagship, alarms screamed. "She's redirecting our weapons," shouted an officer. "Impossible," Vera barked. "She can't hold off a full fleet." But Sarai could feel them, all of them. She felt the pulse of their engines, the hum of their weapons, even the fear in their hearts. "They don't want this fight," she murmured. "They're just following orders." Turning the tide, Sarai's voice carried across the battlefield, amplified by strange waves of energy. "Kyrellan fleet, you fear me, Because I am different. But if you fire again, I will destroy you. Several ship systems began to fail. Lights flickered. Engines stalled. Weapons powered down. Commander. Gah. She's shutting us down. An officer cried. Vera gritted her teeth. All ships, fire at will. Overload your weapons if you must. The fleet unleashed a full volley of firepower. Sarai clenched her fists. Blue lightning arced from her body. The ground shook as she redirected. The energy into the sky, the Corellan fleet staggered as several ships lost power. 2 warships crashed into each other, exploding in a fireball. On the flagship, Vera's face twisted in rage. She's too dangerous to live, Vera snarled. We must summon the Annihilator, our deadliest weapon. Back on the surface, Sarai fell to her knees. The strain of holding back an entire fleet was taking its toll. Tom ran to her side. You can't keep this up. Sarai's glowing eyes looked at him, full of pain and determination. I don't have a choice, she whispered. If I stop, we all die. Above them, a massive shadow appeared in orbit the Annihilator, the Corellan's super weapon, entering the battle. The Annihilator emerged from hyperspace like a nightmare made of metal. Its massive black hull stretched for miles, bristling with energy cannons and rows of sharp glowing spikes. On the ground, the toxic air crackled as Sarai raised her glowing blue eyes to the sky. Even at this distance, she could feel the power of the massive ship. Its engines pulsed like the heartbeat of a sleeping giant. They brought their deadliest weapon. She whispered. Tom stood beside her, his jaw tight. Can you stop it? He asked. Sarai didn't answer. Her glowing hands trembled. The strain of holding back the Corellan fleet had drained her strength. I don't know, she admitted softly, but I have to try. Hook. The Super Weep awakens on board the Annihilator. High Chancellor Zoran stood on the command deck. His tall, armored figure was framed by screens displaying Sarai's image. This hybrid girl has become Earth's greatest mistake, he said coldly. Chancellor, his science officer said nervously, our scans confirm she can disrupt electronics, redirect energy, and possibly rewrite organic matter. If she reaches her full potential, she won't, Zoran snapped. He raised his hand. Charge the planet cracker cannon. Destroy the entire moon. A deep hum shook the ship as its main weapon powered up. Sarai's inner conflict Sarai fell to her knees, clutching her head. Her mind felt too loud, like thousands of voices shouting at once. Tom knelt beside her. Sarai, what's happening to you? I can hear everything, she gasped. Their ships, their weapons, even their thoughts. The nanomedicine isn't just healing me anymore. It's rewriting, me turning me into something else. You're still you, Tom said firmly. You're still the girl I saved. Sarai shook her head. No, I'm the experiment Earth never meant to create. I'm not fully Corellan, and I'm not fully human. The first strike the Annihilator fired, a colossal beam of energy shot toward the moon's surface. Entire mountains melted as the blast tore through the ground. Brace for impact, shouted Dr. Harper inside the base. Sarai stood, her body glowing brighter than ever. Blue lightning arced from her skin as she raised her hands toward the sky. Not today, she whispered. The beam slammed into her barrier. The force shook the entire moon. Cracks spread across the ground like spider webs. The hybrid evolution Sarai screamed as her body absorbed the energy. Her skin glowed brighter, and strange markings spread across her arms like living circuits. Sarai. Tom shouted, I can't hold it, she cried. The energy coursed through her, rewriting her cells at a terrifying speed. Then dashed silence. The beam stopped. When the dust cleared, Sarai stood tall. Her hair floated in the air, glowing faintly. Her eyes now shimmered with both blue and gold light. She wasn't just a hybrid anymore. She was something beyond either species. The Corellan panic on the Annihilator. Alarms blared. Chancellor. She absorbed the planet cracker's energy. It didn't destroy her, evolved her. Zoran's face twisted in rage. She's no longer a mistake. She's a weapon. If we don't stop her now, the galaxy will belong to her kind. Chancellor, we can't risk firing again. If she absorbs another blast, do it. Zoran roared. Sarai's new power. Sarai turned to Tom, her voice deeper and resonating strangely. I can feel the galaxy, Tom. Every ship, every star, every life. I'm connected to all of it now. Sarai, what are you saying? I'm saying I can end this war. Right now. She floated upward, rising slowly toward the sky. The clash the Annihilator fired again. This time, Sarai didn't raise a shield. She reached out her glowing hands and caught the beam in midair. The energy twisted and coiled around her like a serpent. Then she pushed it back. The beam reversed course, slamming into the Annihilator. The massive ship groaned as explosions ripped through its hull. Critical damage, screamed the science officer. Evacuate the ship, Zoran shouted. As the Annihilator fell from orbit in flames, Sarai hovered in the sky, glowing like a living star. On the surface, Tom stared up in awe and fear. She's not just different anymore, Dr. Harper said quietly. She's unstoppable. High above, Sarai's voice echoed across all frequencies, reaching every ship in the Kirillon fleet. This war ends now, or I will end you. The Corellan ships froze. No one dared to fire, but deep in her heart, Sarai felt a shadow. I'm losing myself, she whispered to no one. What am I becoming? The ruins of the Annihilator burned in the sky like a falling star. Pieces of its shattered hull rained down on the toxic moon below, leaving trails of fire and smoke. Sarai hovered above the human base, her glowing body pulsing with energy. The blue and gold light in her eyes flickered as if a storm raged inside her. On the ground, Tom stared up at her in awe and fear. She's not the same anymore, Dr. Harper said quietly. No, Tom whispered. She's something more, and something dangerous. Hook. The galaxy watches across the Kirillon fleet. Silence reigned. Hundreds of warships floated in orbit, their weapons primed but unused. Inside the flagship, Commander Vera gripped the edge of her console. She destroyed the Annihilator. Without touching it, Vera muttered. What kind of creature is she becoming? The science officer looked pale. Commander, she's broadcasting on all frequencies. Put it through, Vera ordered. Sarai's voice echoed across space, calm yet heavy with power. Listen to me, Kirillans. This war ends now. Leave this system, or I will burn your fleets and rewrite your worlds. Saya's inner conflict inside her glowing cocoon of energy. Sarai felt herself slipping. The gene that Earth's medicine gave her had fused with her Kirellan biology, creating something entirely new, a mind that could touch machines, energy, even thoughts. But the more she used her power, the harder it was to hold on to who she was. I'm still me, she told herself. I'm still Sarai. Yet deep down, she felt it. A growing hunger to connect. To spread. The Kirillon response in the flagship, Vera slammed her fist on the console. Prepare all ships for full assault. Commander, are you sure? Asked the science officer nervously. If we provoke her again, I don't care, Vera snapped. We either kill her now, or there won't be a galaxy left to save. The Corellan fleet began to move, circling the moon. Sarai's first offensive, Tome ran outside as the sky lit up with hundreds of Corellan energy. Beams. Sarai. You can't take on all of them. You'll burn yourself out, he shouted. Sarai turned to him slowly. Her voice was soft but echoed with strange harmonics. They won't stop, Tom. Not until I destroy them, or they destroy me. Blue lightning arced from her body as she stretched her arms wide, then let them feel what they fear most. She shot upward into the sky, becoming a streak of blinding light. The battle begins. The Kirellan fleet opened fire. Thousands of beams converged on Sarai's position. The combined force enough to vaporize a planet. But Sarai moved like a phantom. She weaved through the blasts, deflecting some, absorbing others. On the flagship, Vera gritted her teeth. She's cutting through our formation. Focus all fire on her. Sarai raised her glowing hands, and a wave of energy exploded outward. 3 Kirellan warships froze mid-flight, their engines torn apart by invisible forces. Another Wave 5 ships broke apart, drifting helplessly in. Space. The spread of the gene back at the human base. Dr. Harper studied Sirai's biosignals with trembling hands. The gene is no longer contained to her body, Harper said. It's spreading into the environment, into the machines. The plants, even the air. She's seeding the entire moon with her presence. Tom's stomach dropped. You're saying she's becoming part of the planet? Worse, Harper said. She's becoming contagious. Sarai's voice echoed once more across every Kirellan ship. You've forced me into this war. I don't want to destroy you, but if you keep attacking, I'll have no choice. On board the flagship, some Kirellan crew members hesitated. Commander, maybe we should retreat. Cowards, Vera shouted. She lives no species. We'll survive. End of Part 7 cliffhanger. As the battle raged, Sarai floated before the flagship. Her eyes blazed with light, and her voice boomed like thunder. Vera, this is your last chance. Leave her be rewritten. Inside her mind, Sarai felt something stirring. Overwhelming desire to connect to the entire fleet at once. I can end this war, she thought. But if I do, I may never be Sarai again. Above the moon, the Kirellan fleet's weapons powered up for one final, massive strike. On the surface, Tom whispered to himself, Sarai, please don't lose yourself. The toxic sky burned with light as the Kirellan fleet prepared its final strike. Hundreds of warships floated in formation, their massive cannons glowing red. On the surface, Tom stared upward, his heart pounding. Sarai, don't do it. He whispered, don't lose yourself. Above him, Sarai hovered in the air, her glowing body radiating power like a newborn star. Blue and gold light spiraled around her as her voice echoed across space. This war ends now. Final standown. The Kirellan flagship. Commander Vera's sharp eyes burned with hatred. She's connected to everything, Vera growled. If she links to the entire fleet, she could rewrite us all. Fire all weapons. Burn her out. The fleet unleashed a storm of energy. Thousands of beams converged on Sarai, the combined power enough to destroy a planet. But Sarai didn't flinch. She raised her hands, and the energy stopped midair. Enough like glass. Enough, she whispered. The rewrite begins. Sarai closed her glowing eyes. She could feel them, all the ships, the machines, the Kirellan soldiers, their fear, their anger. I can end their war, she thought. But if I do, I'll never be the same again. Her body pulsed with energy. Tiny streams of light spread outward, touching the warships one by one. On board the ships, systems flickered. Weapons shut down. Engines went silent. Commander, she's inside our systems, Kirellan officer screamed. It's not just the systems, another shouted. She's inside us too. The choice on the surface, Tom called out to her. Sarai, you're still you. Don't let this gene control you. Fight it. Sarai's voice carried softly to him, though her body remained motionless. I don't know if I can, Tom. The gene wants to connect, to spread. If I let go, it'll rewrite the galaxy. You can choose, Tom shouted. You're more than this power. For a long moment, Sarai didn't answer. Then quietly she whispered, I was Sarai once, wasn't I? The final rewrite. Sarai stretched out her arms. Blue and gold tendrils of light wrapped around every ship in the fleet. Listen to me, Kirellan, she said. Her voice was calm, but filled with strange alien power. This war is over. You came here to destroy me. Instead, I will leave you. With a gift. The tendrils pulsed. Slowly, the Kirellan soldiers felt the anger drain from their minds. Memories of hatred and fear dimmed like old stars. This is not domination, Sarai said softly. It's understanding. A galaxy. Changed forever on the flagship, Vera fell to her knees, clutching her head. She's in my mind, Vera gasped. She's showing me her pain, her hope. The weapons on every Kirellan ship powered down. The fleet became silent, as if frozen in time. Sarai floated in the center of it all. Her body glowing so brightly she looked like a small sun, the sacrifice on the surface. Tom reached for her desperately. Sarai, come back. You're stronger than this. You're not a weapon, you're you. But Sarai's voice echoed faintly. Tell them I didn't want this. Tell them I only wanted peace. Then the light flared brighter and brighter until it filled the sky. The moment it faded, Sarai was gone. The aftermath, the Kyrillan fleet turned slowly and drifted away from the moon. Not a single shot was fired again. On the flagship, Vera sat quietly in her command chair. Her sharp eyes softened as she whispered, "She spared us. And now the galaxy will never forget her." Earth's warning. Months later, on Earth, Tom stood before the United Terran Council. His voice trembled as he spoke. She was Sarai, a Corellan girl. We tried to save her life with our medicine. We didn't know. We created something new. Something neither human nor Corellan. He took a deep breath. She became a bridge between two worlds. And then she became the warning. On screens across the galaxy, her image played again and against the Y, glowing like a star, her final words echoing, "Remember me, and never let this happen again." Sarai's name became legend. To some, she was a savior. To others, a monster. But to Tom, she would always be the girl who smiled at him once and asked what Earth's flowers smelled like. And now, she was everywhere.